Once upon a time, in a mystical land, two powerful kingdoms ruled the world, one made of fire and the other of water. The Fire Kingdom was led by the fierce and passionate King Blaze, whose flames could melt mountains. The Water Kingdom was under the wise and calm Queen Marina, whose waters could heal and create life. Though they lived in harmony for centuries, a great conflict arose when the boundaries between their lands began to blur. Rivers began to dry up in Marina's land, while Blaze's mountains began to cool with rain. "We must settle this once and for all," declared King Blaze, with his fiery eyes gleaming. "Our elements are meant to balance the world, not destroy each other," responded Queen Marina calmly. But King Blaze was determined to prove fire's strength and demanded a fight between their elements. The two kingdoms prepared for the battle, gathering their forces of fire spirits and water nymphs. The skies darkened, and the earth trembled as the day of battle approached. Tourists from distant lands gathered at the mystical border, eager to witness the legendary clash. It was an opportunity of a lifetime, a fight between the unstoppable force of fire and the immovable calm of water. As the sun set, King Blaze and Queen Marina faced each other on the battlefield. Blaze's flames roared higher than the tallest trees, while Marina's waters shimmered under the moonlight. With a powerful roar, King Blaze launched the first strike, sending a wave of flames crashing toward the Water Kingdom. But Queen Marina gracefully raised her hand, and a towering wall of water surged up, swallowing the flames. "Your fire may be hot, but water can cool even the most intense heat," she said, her voice steady. King Blaze grinned, his fiery beard crackling. "But water also evaporates under my touch," he said, sending a blazing inferno directly at Marina. The tourists gasped in awe as Marina countered by summoning a massive tidal wave. The wave swept over the fire, hissing and steaming as it battled the heat. For hours, fire and water collided, turning the battlefield into a storm of steam and mist. Trees around them burned and quenched in cycles, creating a mesmerizing spectacle. It was a dance of destruction and creation, as fire and water battled for dominance. At one point, Blaze's fire spirits encircled the water nymphs, attempting to dry them out. But the nymphs twirled and danced, calling down rain from the heavens to cool their attackers. Tourists cheered as the fire spirits were drenched and forced to retreat. King Blaze, frustrated, summoned a fiery phoenix to dive at Marina. The phoenix screeched, leaving a trail of fire in its wake as it raced toward her. But Marina, unfazed, summoned a giant water dragon from the depths of the sea. The water dragon roared and clashed with the phoenix in midair, their battle creating a storm of steam and lightning. Lightning crackled across the sky, electrifying the atmosphere with raw energy. "Enough!" shouted Queen Marina, her voice echoing through the mist. "We can fight for eternity, but what will it bring?" King Blaze paused, his flames flickering as he considered her words. "You want to end this fight?" he asked, his voice a low growl. "We must learn to coexist, or both our kingdoms will be lost," Marina replied. The tourists, who had been watching in awe, fell silent as they listened to her words. Even in the midst of battle, there was wisdom in her calmness. King Blaze, still full of fire, refused to surrender. He sent one final blast of flame toward Marina, determined to prove his point. Marina stood her ground, raising a single hand to call forth the largest wave of water the world had ever seen. The wave crashed down, extinguishing the fire and washing over Blaze. For a moment, all was silent, no crackle of flames, no roar of waves, just stillness. Blaze stood drenched but unharmed, his flames completely gone. "You are strong," he admitted, his voice softer than before. "But fire is not meant to be destroyed," he added, his eyes burning with passion. "Nor is water meant to evaporate into nothing," Marina replied. "Perhaps we are not enemies after all," she said. The tourists, now completely entranced by the drama unfolding, held their breath. "We can fight, or we can create," Marina continued, extending a hand toward Blaze. Blaze hesitated, his pride warring with the truth of her words. Finally, he reached out and took her hand. As their hands touched, something miraculous happened. Fire and water swirled together. The heat of Blaze's flames did not destroy Marina's water, nor did her water quench his fire. Instead, the two elements blended, creating a beautiful mist that sparkled in the light. The tourists gasped in wonder, capturing the magical moment with their cameras. "Look!" one of the tourists shouted, pointing at the mist. The mist formed into a rainbow, stretching across the sky as a symbol of peace. "Together, we are stronger," Blaze said, his fiery eyes now glowing with understanding. "Together, we balance," Marina added with a smile. And so, the two rulers forged an alliance, vowing to protect their kingdoms in harmony. The Fire Kingdom and Water Kingdom became one, sharing resources, knowledge, and strength. The land blossomed with new life as fire and water nurtured the earth together. The tourists who witnessed the battle returned home, spreading stories of the incredible day. They told of the epic clash, the thrilling moments, and the final unity that brought hope to all. Soon, the battle between fire and water became legendary, attracting even more tourists to the land. People from all corners of the world came to see the place where fire and water met in peace. The land became a symbol of balance and cooperation, drawing explorers, historians, and adventurers alike. As the years passed, the two kingdoms flourished, with Blaze and Marina ruling side by side. Blaze's fiery passion was tempered by Marina's calm wisdom, and Marina's cool logic was invigorated by Blaze's fire. Together, they inspired their people to work together, overcoming challenges and creating new wonders. The tourists who visited the kingdom left feeling uplifted and motivated by the tale of cooperation. The land became known as the Kingdom of Balance, a place where opposites worked together in perfect harmony. Tourists would stand in awe of the rainbow mist that still lingered in the air, a permanent reminder of the great battle. The local guides would tell visitors, "This is the land where fire and water learned to coexist." Travelers would take pictures, but they knew no photo could capture the true beauty of the moment. "It's something you have to feel to understand," said one traveler. The Kingdom of Balance became a global symbol of unity and peace. People returned home inspired to work together, no matter how different they were. The battle between fire and water was no longer seen as a fight, but as a lesson. A lesson that even the most opposite forces can create beauty when they come together. Blaze and Marina often walked the lands, watching their people thrive. The tourists who met them marveled at their strength and harmony. "You are an example for the world," a tourist once told them. Blaze smiled, his fiery spirit softened. "We learned that strength is not just in power, but in unity," he replied. Marina nodded, adding, "And peace is not just in stillness, but in balance." Together, they stood as a beacon of hope and motivation for all who came to their land. And so, the legacy of the fire and water fight lived on, not as a tale of destruction, but as a story of creation. The tourists who visited would leave with their hearts full and their spirits lifted. They would remember the lesson of the Kingdom of Balance and carry it with them wherever they went. For in the end, fire and water had shown the world that even the fiercest of forces could come together. And in their unity, they had created something greater than either could have alone. The world looked to the Kingdom of Balance as a symbol of hope, a place where fire and water danced together in harmony, a place where differences were celebrated and unity was cherished. And so, the battle that once threatened to tear the land apart became the story that brought it together. Fire and water, once enemies, now lived in peace, inspiring all who visited their kingdom. And their story, the epic battle of fire and water, became the most beautiful tale ever told.